Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name's Jack. This is JTH Books. I don't know why I say that every time, but we do. It just comes out. We're going to accept it. We're going to move on. We're going to roll on. Today, I thought I would talk to you about some queer non-fiction, the queer non-fiction that I have. As you can see, they've been moved from behind me. Now, back in 2021, I tried to set myself like a little challenge of reading one non-fiction book a month. So I would have read 12 for the year. Failed miserably, much like life itself. I failed. But this year, it's happening. It's going better. And everyone I have read this year has been queer, which if it's queer, it's good. That's literally the rules. It's one of the first things I read every month. I'm really excited to read it every month. Oh, just clear myself. Oh, I hope my neighbour. I can see my neighbour. Doesn't see me. We just carry on. So yeah, I figured today I would talk to you about all the queer non-fiction I have. Some I've read, some I haven't. Some obviously going to be read this year. I do feel a little bit, not uneasy is not the right word, a little bit strange. Recommend you books that I haven't read yet, but hopefully you hear the titles, you hear me talk about some of them, or the descriptions, you want to read them yourself, they pique your interest, you go look them up, you borrow them, you buy them, you listen to them. You know, I think non-fiction's really important. You learn from people's experiences and their lives, and the facts they put in them. But so yeah, I'm going to start off with the ones I haven't read first, I think, and see if maybe they work for you. So let's go. First up, we have We Can Do Better Than This, 35 Voices on the Future of LGBTQ plus rights, edited by Amelia Abraham. This has got absolutely tons of people have written in this. I'm so excited to read this. Really, this is the kind of one you could, read a couple from, put it down, pick it back up, which is, the perfect kind of book we need sometimes. Because, non-fiction can be heavy. It can be, not tough is the right word, but, a lot to take in sometimes. So, one like this, you could read a couple. I'll see if I know anyone. Beth Ditto, Peppermint, Ollie Alexander. So, yeah, there's tons of people we know, tons of people we don't know. So, I'm very excited for this one. And I should take my advice and read a couple and then put it down, pick it back up. How We Fight for Our Lives, a memoir by Saeed Jones. This is just what it's like to grow up queer and black and, as someone... Next up we have This Is How We Fight for Our Lives, a memoir by Saeed Jones. It's important to read about different people's experiences. This is what non-fiction is all about. And I'm excited to read this one, though I do think, it will be a tough read. So yeah, I'm really excited for this one. I feel bad not saying much about it, but I don't know much about it because I haven't read it. But I'm just, again, hoping that some of these pique your interest. And orange theme. We've got an orange theme going. Next up, we have Wayward Lives, Beautiful Experiments by Saidiya Hartman. Intimate histories of riotous black girls, troublesome women, and queer radicals. So I don't know how much this. I don't think this is also going to be all queer, but some of it is, and the rest of it even sounds brilliant. I've had this one for a long time, but I'm so excited to read this one. Yeah, I'm just excited to read this one. I think that's what we need to read, this kind of stuff. Again, a tone of orange. At the dawn of the 20th century, the first generation of black women born after emancipation wanted real freedom. Refusing to labour like slaves, they leapt into the unknown, becoming pioneers of free love, common law marriage, queer identities, and single motherhood. I'm really, really excited for this one. Next up, we have The Wedding Heard Around the World, Michael McConnell and Jack Baker. America's First Gay Marriage. This is just about the first gay marriage in America. On September 3rd, 1971, at the dawn of the modern-day gay movement, Michael McConnell and Jack Baker exchanged vows in the first legal same-sex wedding in the United States. But the battle to get here, legal and emotional, was only the start of their incredible story. Again, another one I'm going to say this about all of them, but I'm so excited to read. As told, yeah, I don't know what else to say. 50 years after their marriage. Oh, they were married for 50 years. Maybe 50 years to kind of find a boyfriend. But we're not going to talk about that. Fighting Proud by Stephen Bourne. The untold stories of the gay men who served in 2 world wars. I bought this one so like 4-5 years ago. Got pictures in. And I am excited to read, I keep saying it, but I am excited to read this one. It's what it says on the tin. In this astonishing new history of wartime Britain, historian Stephen Bourne reveals the fascinating stories of the gay men who served in the armed forces and at the home front, and brings to light the great unheralded contribution they made to the war effort. That's what you need to know. I want to read this. Will it be soon? Well, maybe it'll be this year because it has been up there the longest. Gay Bar, Why We Went Out by Jeremy Atherton Lin. Now this is all about, it's part memoir, part social history. It's about how important queer spaces are and how they're sort of disappearing. And it also talks about how when Jeremy goes to them and his experiences there. And so, yeah. This will be read this year as well. Probably. Queer, LGBTQ writing from ancient times to yesterday, edited by Wynne. Since the dawn of literature, queer people have turned to writing to document their existence, to share great triumphs and deep despairs, to praise the virtues of their lovers, extol their loneliness, and proclaim their lust. To tell of their peculiarities and mundanities. Mundanities. Oh. Can I read? I don't know. Again, so many people have written in this. This is a big chunk set. But again, much like this one, you could read a couple at a time, read a couple, put it back down, read some fiction, read some non-fiction, and then pick this up. They're not long, you could read a couple. Oh, I'm really excited for this one. Again, I'm going to share my own advice and read a couple, put it down, pick it back up. Because reading a book like this, you do like there's going to be a lot. Oh, What a Lovely Century. Roderick, Fenwick, Owen. One man's marvellous venture in love, war and high society. Now, I saw this, I can't remember whose channel I saw it on, and then I went to gaze the word, and I picked it up myself. History, high society, travel and sex all feature at the heart of this enthralling autobiography from a prolific writer, I can't speak today, who surely experienced more of the 20th century events and places than anyone else. But when a dazzling trip to 1950s New York opened his eyes to the fact that he was more attracted to men than women, he was forced to continue his quest for his soulmate under threat of danger. This was at a time when the police were prosecuting and imprisoning more gay men than ever before, including some of his friends. So this is a travel memoir and what it means to be queer. So I don't know if this one will be read this year because it's big. Look at the size of it. But it will be read at some point because I bought that one. It cost me a lot of money. So yeah, that is all the ones that I... Oh, no. This just got sent to me. Ravensmith's Men. Now, I saw Ravensmith speak at an event for Fourth Estate Books for his first book, and this is his second book. And I am going to read this one. This will probably be my next non-fiction. This book is about men because, in an annoying way, everything is. Funny men, tall men, charming men, stepdads, actual dads, and ripped sports dads. Ravensmith has been trying to distill what it is about men that has kept him intrigued his whole life. It's even signed. I'm really excited for this one. I really, really am excited for this one. Herein lies the men of Ravensmith. Each of them has left a mark, a memory, a stain, whether they meant it or not. Some hit deep, and I caught feels. Some I discarded like clip-on neckties. Yeah, I'm ready. This is the next one. This is the next one in my non-fiction mission for the year. I have to move my feet a little bit. So, sit on them. Now, I'm going to talk about the ones that I have read. I would say it's a pretty even mixture, you know. I read this one this year. It was sent to me by Daunt Books. Please, Miss, A Heartbreaking Work of Staggering Penis by Grace Lavery. This one, I have to put it. It's written, you know, by Grace Lavery, who is trans. And what they had to say about transitioning and being trans, I thought was phenomenal. I thought that was absolutely phenomenal in this book. And you know, but there was some of the rest of it I didn't quite get. It all went a bit over my head a little bit. So I don't necessarily... Oh, do I recommend it? I don't know if I recommend this one, to be honest. But some of it I thought, oh, this is brilliant. You know, highlight, tab it. And then the rest of it, yeah, it just went over my head. So, yeah. Make of that what you will. I spoke about this one before. Bad Gays Are Homosexual by Hugh Lemmey and Ben Miller. Read this maybe at the beginning of March. And it's just a look at, you know, the gays that we haven't heralded as heroes. And it is really fascinating. It's got a lot of facts in. You know, it tells the story of their life and how they, and how their queerness affected it and affected them and their beliefs and their, you know. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but that comes out May 31st. That one's not out yet. I should say that. Next up, we have Life as a Unicorn, A Journey from Shame to Pride and Everything in Between by Amrou Al-Kadhi. Yeah, I really love this one. It does have some HP references in, but, you know, it was before the time we knew that J.K. Rowling is awful. But yeah, it just tells their story and how it was to grow up as a Muslim boy and then realise their queerness and then turn to drag and how it saved them. And it's a really, really brilliant book. I really, really enjoyed this one. Eat, Gay, Love, a memoir by Callum McSwiggan. I've just read this one. It basically talks about what it's like to travel alone as a queer person, you know, and I just signed. It was just, I did really enjoy this. It was, as a queer person, you can't, you know, there's some places you can't go and you don't know how it's going to be when you get there, and it sort of talks about all that and his experiences on the trip and the people he meets and the things he does, and it was really, really enjoyable, actually. I keep saying that. Well, I don't, because I said I didn't like the first one, but... Oh, I dropped it. Next up, we have The Madness of Grief, a memoir of love and loss, by the Reverend Richard Coles. This is basically just about him losing his husband. You sort of watch it when his husband gets ill and then they go into hospital, and then sort of his life for a bit after. It was really sad. It was really sad and it was really moving. It's a short little thing. And I would definitely, I'd recommend this one. A Dutiful Boy by Moshin Zaidi, a memoir of a gay man's journey to acceptance. When did I read this one? Maybe last year? And I did, again, really, really enjoyed this one. But it literally does just focus on his journey to coming out and life after. And I did feel like maybe this one needed a little bit more of his life story just to get to know him a bit more. But I did, again, it was really good. I just needed a little bit more of his life story, I guess. A little bit more. I don't know. Yeah, I do just remember feeling that. I just remember feeling it was good. Just needed a bit more, as I keep saying. In the Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado. This is one of the best books I've ever read. Was that sold it to you? Are you going to read it now? It's about An engrossing and wildly innovative memoir of love gone bad. In the Dream House traces the full arc of harrowing relationship with a charismatic but volatile woman. And that sums it up. At the big, you know, it's written in little, what do you call them? Almost little vignettes. And it's just, it is absolutely brilliant. It's, you sort of read them at first falling in love, and then how it turns, and it's just, it's unputdownable. The writing is so beautiful. And I hope you read this one. I really hope you read this one. And lastly, the Transgender issue, An Argument for Justice by Shon Faye. This should required reading. This should really be. So I've had to move because my feet, I've got pins and needles in and they're going dead. This should be required reading, I think. When I read this, I think it was late last year, I absolutely could not put it down. I bought it the week it came out. And it just talks about, you know, what it's like to be trans in this country, and how bad it is. It's probably even got worse. It has got worse with the healthcare things and the conversion ban that is non-existent for trans people. So if you want to know about what it's like to be trans in the UK, how, you know, how we can help, and like Shon Faye says, trans liberation for all. Yeah, so that's it. That is my selection of queer non-fiction books. Let me know if you've read any. Let me know if you're going to read any, if you know, pick any up from this video. And thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to subscribe. I don't blame you if you don't. And give it a thumbs up if you like it. I don't know why I said that. Do I normally say that? I have no idea. We're just going to quickly move on. And I'll see you on the next video.